Okay, welcome. So we'll start our first modules, which is the first lesson and first learning outcome under Unit 3. My name is Anjum Sattar, and my email address here, in case if you need me, please drop me email. And today we'll go through LO1, Learning Outcome 1, understand the function of accounting within different types of tourism and hospitality organization, which we'll go through. And first of all, we'll go through our assessment criteria 1, clarify the purpose of accounting and finance, and in finance, basically, context of tourism and hospitality organization. Okay, we'll start. What is meant by accounting? What do you think about accounting? Any thoughts about accounting?
It's basically summing everything up, all the income, all the taxes, everything that is related to money. Is considered accounting in relation to a business.
Brilliant. Yes, accounting is all about the systematically record of business transaction into books, in a financial statement. So accounting is recording the business transaction. We heard about double entry bookkeeping. Double entry bookkeeping is record double entry bookkeeping meant by every debit and should be equal to credit. If I'm saying I'm buying furniture is my asset. I'm buying furniture is my assets. Asset, it means anything which we can own and we have an economics value, we called asset. So asset, we do debit. If we are paying cash, yes, when we'll purchase furniture, we can purchase furniture by paying cash, yes, or we can purchase furniture not paying now, but we can pay in future, yes. We called account payable. Any question?
None so far.
Okay. So that's the key purpose, is the double entry. Basic purpose is record the transaction so we can trace it, where the money came from, where the money we spent. We are right, we need to record the income and expenditures in the book of accounts. So in accounts, we have two types of accounts. One is called management accounting, other is financial accounting. Because we are doing accounting and finance, so we're not doing just financial accounting. It's quite mixed. So management accounting, you may be heard about CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, and you may be heard about ACCA or CA, which is known as a financial accountant. So these are two different types of qualification, but under hospitality, we are just want to learn how we can use in hospitality industry and why these are the important accounting concept, So management accounting, which is normally internal within our organization, the information won't go outside the organization. Like in police force, you use the management accounting, you have a budgeting, you do planning, and all sort of things. So that's the management accounting. But the information, public don't know the information. You only know within your department. That's called management accounting, keeping record for internal use. But if you're a business and we have an investor, so we prepare the financial accounts. So financial accounts, public can, and those are on the public domain, like in the stock exchange, in the company's house, we have to submit annual reports. Those are called financial statements, which we'll go through in detail. So information mainly produce internal user under the management accounting, under financial accounting external. The purpose is to help us in a planning and controlling and decision making under the management accounting, but under the financial accounting to record financial performance in a period. So every 12 months we record or we produce, financial statement. Legal requirement, management accounting is not illegal. If we record or we don't record, we not going to be penalized by this. So, but if as a financial accounting, we must need to produce the financial statement um, within 12 months. If we don't produce it, we're not going to fulfill the stock exchange requirement or other legal requirements. We can be fined. And format management accounting is we decide ourselves which format, right to left, whatever is portrait, landscape, or whatever the format we want. But under the financial accounting, we need to be is a certain format. The key heading need to be in a statement, which is a legal requirement. So nature of information, financial and non-financial information, but under the financial accounting mostly financial information. Time period. So under the management accounting is no time period. Normally we record the transactions based on the present and future, but financial accounting all historical data, past information, what's happened in the past. Any question?
None so far. Thank you for distinguishing between the two.
Okay. Next, we're looking accounting consists of two elements: recording transaction. Transaction must be recorded as they are occur in order to provide up-to-date information for management. So that's why we need accounting, recording transaction. Then second, we summarize transaction. Transaction for the period, we can summarize how much we spend on the payroll, how much we spend on various other elements within a business. So that's all transaction. We purchase furniture, we purchase raw material, we purchase stationery. So we can transaction in a period. We can summarize how much we spend on the stationery, how much we spend on HR or in terms of the wages. So those we can summarize them into. Then we prepare from this summary financial statements. So in business we prepare four types of financial statement. So but major two types of financial statement which we are going to discuss now is income statement. Income statement also known as a profit and loss. Either we have a profit or loss which shows the statement is called income statement or profit and loss. Two names normally we use in business: income statement or profit and loss statement. So reflect the performance of a business over a period of time, like 12 months. Uh, Second statement is called statement of financial position statement, which is also known as balance sheet. It shows how much worth of asset we have, how much worth of liability which we have to settle in future, how much capital we have in the business. So all these information is available within the statement of financial position, which is also known as balance sheet. Third statement we call cash flow statement, a statement of cash flow which shows how much money in and out from the business, what is the cash position in the business. So that shows in the cash flow statement. The last statement, which is called statement of change in equity, or the shareholder statement, which shows how many shares we issued during the period, how much dividend we paid to our shareholders. So these are the four statements. Those are compulsory for public limited company. Those are listed in the stock exchange. They must need to produce four types of statements. But these are the two major statements which is almost every business is producing: income statement and statement of financial position. So first, management accounting help providing information to people within a restaurant. If we're looking like in a restaurant, like in a hospitality industry, so management accounting help to provide information. So we looking such managers and directors, they can make the better decisions on based on the information. So information is a lifeblood for any business. So efficiency and effectiveness. Do we know what is the difference between efficiency and effectiveness?
Efficiency is the consistency, and effectiveness is how the impact.
Okay,
I think.
in business normally we use three E's concept. Is one called effectiveness. Effectiveness is a benchmark, like the benchmark how quick will respond in incident, for suppose in your case, in your role. So that's effectiveness. If you meeting and your response rate is within that time frame is effective, you're effective. But if you're doing your response is quicker than that, the benchmark, you are efficient. Yes, you're efficient. So
I
always when we are meeting the performance, any individual or any organization, we're looking performance in three dimensions. We're looking performance in term of the time, in term of the cost, in term of the quality. So if we exceeding in all areas, your quality of the service was really good. The cost we reduce as a department, and the quality, customer satisfaction, our user satisfaction is quite high. So can call ourselves you're efficient. Otherwise, if you're just hitting the criteria, you're very effective. You're effective. You're effective. You can stay. We can retain in our organization as effective because we are hitting the criteria. On the other hand, the financial accounting practices help to provide the information to people outside the restaurant, outside the organization, like shareholders. Creditors mean those are our suppliers, those provide us goods or the services, but we not make the payment yet. So tax authorities all days are looking information in the financial accounting, how much profit, how much loss, how much taxes we need to pay. So all these show in the financial accounting financial statement. Under the on this basis, the management accounting practices within tourism and hospitality organization referred internal reporting. We can do internal reporting, and external reporting is a financial accounting. It's a legal requirement for public limited company to produce final accounts, irrespective, doesn't matter if what is a compulsory we need to. But under management accounting, it's not compulsory. So either is hospitality or any other industry, we need to publish these reports if we are public limited company. So then additional management accounting practices measure the economics performance. So management, what is meant by management?
Management is, in general, it's how business decides on its operations and what goals they want to achieve and how they would achieve it from start to beginning.
Okay, well then. So management is known as a process of designing an environment to achieve our pre-selected objective. If you're a manager in an organization, you're supposed to be achieve your objective. And how you will achieve, you have to design environment. You have to set the certain activity to achieve. It's up to do planning, controlling, monitoring, all come under management. These are all known as a function of these management. Always managers create success. Always managers looking to create, using less resources and getting more output. That's really crucial. So as a management accounting, we focus on the performance. Besides the financial accounting, generally legal prescribed structure, accounting standards we have in the UK and in the world, IAS, International Accounting Standards, which normally guide us how we can prepare the financial statement. These are all the regulatory bodies in the financial accounting world, which we provide financial information, and financial information must need to be true and fair, true information, because the people make the decision either to invest in any company, any organization based on the financial information in shape of financial statement. Any question?
None so far.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next we're looking, so as 1.1 we discuss about difference between accounting, management accounting, financial accounting, purpose of the accounting, why we require. Second, 1.2 we are going to discuss, explain the difference between sole trader, partnership and limited company. What is meant by sole trader?
For a sole trader, a person that's basically operating his own business. Let's say a person basically is the front runner of his company. It's a small company basically. I think I'm not sure exactly. Or a person that trades on one thing only. For example, we're talking about restaurants. A person that delivers a type of certain food only, a sole trader to that. I'm not sure if I'm correct.
Brilliant. Well done. Sole traded is a one-person business. All the risk and reward will be here by one person. Everything goes. If I'll work hard, it's my reward. If I don't work hard, it's my, yes. If I have unlimited liability, if I borrow money from the bank can claim the money if I not pay them back. So they can claim back from my personal asset, from my property. They can.
That's true.
So partnership, it's mean two and more people in a business come together and will start the business. It's called partnership. We have in the UK the Partnership Act 1890. So if we don't have a written agreement, how much percent you and me will invest in the business or will share the profit, then otherwise will be equally. So in partnership, we supposed to have a partnership agreement written. So partnership is it's a quite growing business as well, a form of business in various like limited liability partnership in solicitor firms or accounting firms. Various accountant can create a company and they work under the partnership as well. So next form of is a company. What is meant by company?
Basically, a company is it's an entity on its own. So a person representing a company, what he does affects the company. If let's say a CEO decides to buy something and that something brings a loss or a profit, it doesn't go to the CEO, it goes to the company as a whole. It and the company it can be owned by different partnerships or just a person, but that he owns a company.
Okay, so sole traded is a one person, partnership is two or more, it can be up to 20. Company is a separate legal entity which is registered in the company house, and the company is have a limited liability. In case of I borrow money from the bank, in case in if I'm doing company business, so
It's in the name of the company.
yes, in case of the loss, nobody can claim from my personal property. So that is the limited liability. So each type have own advantages and disadvantages. So if I have advantages and disadvantages, sole trader, one person business, all risk and reward goes to 1%. But disadvantage is the limited knowledge, expertise in case of loss. It can be unlimited liabilities, and it can be the bank can claim. Partnership, two or more, it can be diverse skill and knowledge, and few people can be expert in different areas, and that's why is and other if I'll compare with the sole trader, the capital can be huge compared to the sole trader, one person investing and 20 people investing money in the business and 20 people working towards in the business as well. They have a different skills, abilities, and they share the losses and the profits according to agreement. So that's the difference and disadvantage. Sometimes can be conflict between partners, and that create a problem for the business. Sometimes partner can be retired, they can withdraw the money from the business, and ultimately that leads to the closure of the business. So that's the drawback of the partnership as well. So next we're looking limited company. Limited company have two types. One is called public limited company, second is called private limited company. If we are a private investor, we come together and we can start a business as a limited company, but we don't sell the shares in the stock exchange. we keep the shares as a private, like we 5 family members, 10 family members come together, we registered a company and we can start a business. But if it's a public limited company, we need minimum £50,000 worth of requirement of the stock exchange to be registered in the stock exchange. Then we can issue shares to the public. We need to publish the account on the public domain, and all these sort of the things, it's come under the limited company. Limited word, it means limited liability, and that's, it's all known as public and private limited. That's the big difference. And the shareholder normally is the owner of the business, and they have a voting right. They can change the management, and the management of the CEO of the company normally is working on the behalf of shareholders, and those are called the stewardship. They are working as a steward on the behalf of shareholders. So all we need to be look around. Advantages is a lot of legal requirement. Advantages, of course, a lot of money we can raise is the trust of the people's accounts and the legal format we need to be. But disadvantage, a lot of legal requirement. We must need to publish accounts. Is a quite costly process, and it can be if it's a bad press, public limited company can be huge. It's a lot of check and balances. So these are the disadvantages as well. So normally we registered company under the Company Act 2006 in the UK, but in other country can be 1984 in Asia and different part of the world. It can be different Company Act which we need to be follow as a. Okay. Any question? 1.2.
None so far, thank you.
Welcome. Next, we're looking 1.3, explain the difference between private sector and public sector. So what is the difference between private sector? It usually consists of that the private owned and not a part of the government. Private owned company, that's called is a private sector, like a retail store, like a credit union, like a local business. These are all known as a private sector. Public sector, like the public sector organization, police force is a public sector composed of organization that's owned by and operated by the government, including federal, provincial, state or municipal corporations or government depending. So they have a privacy legislation, and we have to follow these legislations. Some example of the public bodies in Canada, in UK are the educational bodies, healthcare bodies. These are all police and the prison services, and the local and the central government bodies. These are all known as a public sector organization. So nowadays is a public-private partnership is quite growing concept as well, because the public and private organization come together and they work on the various projects together. So thus we need to be improve the efficiency and improve the services. So that's public and private. This is quite good video to watch.
If you had something really important to mail, would you head to the post office, which is run by the government and considered part of the public sector? Or would you go to a place like UPS or FedEx, which are private businesses? Politicians and the media often talk about the private and public sectors of our economy, but what's the difference, and which one is more effective? The private sector is made up of businesses or corporations owned by people. Private sector includes malls, grocery stores, and your local diner. To make a profit in the private sector, businesses must earn our money by offering us products and services that we want or need. When businesses have to compete for the same dollars, prices go down, because no one wants to pay twice as much for shoes at one store if you can get the same pair cheaper at another place. On the other hand, the public sector is not supported by profits, so it doesn't have to compete for our dollars. Instead, the public sector uses our tax dollars to fund its services, so we pay for these programs no matter how much or how little we use them. The government decides how our tax dollars should with one another for your business. If they
So
offer
these are all examples,
more
yeah.
efficient. When you don't
So
have to
private
it
sector,
works.
public
So when
sector.
there's a
So it's a matter of quite good,
you really need delivered. For more short videos on
So that's we can watch, yes, further to play a clear concept. Any question, public and private sector?
No, none so far.
Next, our area of discussion will be assess how financial software can support accounting function of tourism and hospitality. Nowadays we have a lot of software, so those software help us to plan our and to maintain the record systematically in accounts. So that's these software quite useful and help us to track, like in hospitality industry, keeping the customer record, tracking the customer satisfaction level, looking the income and expenditures, and all the booking, and we can track how much is being our booking. So we'll make sure our not our book, we make sure we are working on the full capacity. So these are all the benefit, because without the software it is quite difficult, and the software and the dashboard help us to be measure the performance of the companies and use our resources, limited resources effectively. So core benefit of accounting software, financial management software include the tools and the processes that manage and govern income, expenses, and assets. And overarching goals for any financial management solution is to not only maintain the organization daily business, but maximize the profit. Continues protect the financial data from fraud and theft. That's a huge the problem with the IT as well. The basic level and accounting system provide the benefit. Intense competition businesses environment mean the tourism and hospitality industry have to work hard and maintain and develop their competitiveness. Competitive advantage we need to be create in our organization. We should work better than our competitors and our uh, other country to whom we are those are competitors in terms of providing the best customer services. The success of a business to a certain extent depend on its ability to utilize and update information to assist management and marketing. So information technology can play a huge role. So information is a lifeblood for any organization. So these software help us to make the right decision. Decision making is mean selecting the best alternative from the various alternatives. So which we use the information. So accounting software keep the record. We can do the trend analysis, we can measure which product, we can find the break even, we can forecast for the future, we can do the trend analysis by using these software. So software helps to generate the reports which we can weekly, monthly, or yearly reports we can generate based on these software. So impact of information technology, vehicle management of lodging operations, Delphi study. There are the various studies. Delphi is a 360-degree appraisal system like a circle, and we can appraise not only the senior management will appraise too, but all the low level and the various stakeholders can appraise, and that will help to improve the performance. Is only we can do by using the software, because we have a record, we can find the information, right information at right time with the right. Okay. So under this also comes various core accounting software functionality. We can find the information about account payables. Account payables mean how many creditors we have to whom we need to make the payment. If if we don't make the payment on time, what will do? What will happen in future? These supplier won't provide us goods and services on time. So that's why we need to make sure an accounting software says how many days and we have to pay. We can plan our cash account receivables. It means that we are selling goods on credit and we have to collect the money, and these are also known as a debtors. Those will help, but the accounting software help, because through this we can generate the reports. Is the auto system will trigger, which customer not yet paid. If they pay early, we can give them early prompt payment discount, early settlement discount. That will help us is due to the software. Analysis and tracking is quite easy using software, especially on the computer. Is a dashboard will help us and says which are, and we can prioritize the task keeping in view of analysis and tracking. That will help through the software. Cash management and expenses, we can look around the bank reconciliation, our cash book and the bank book, our money in the bank and the with the record which we kept in the shape of the cash book. It's our balances need to be matched. If not matched, why not match? So that we can. Job management, yes, we can manage the jobs, and we can look around how many hours been lost, unproductive hours. We'll make sure we'll make organization more productive. We reduce the setup time, and how many people we have, how much workforce supposed to be required. So all is a help by the software. So integration is quite, our software can be integrated with the various authorities. They can verify the data, and they can check, So that will help to improve the efficiencies and provide the services to our stakeholders. Those really want, our services to be improved. Payroll, of course, payroll is a help us, the software help us to track, will pay the money to our employees on time, their bonuses, efficiency related pay, the tax calculations, all we can do by the software. So if we don't have a software, these can create a problem, permission and security. Yes, we need to make sure we have a software, but the data can be lost, but we need to make sure, we have a permission up to the level of we need to be authorized, so which easily can be managed through the software. There are the various software. One of the software which we normally use in accounts for accounts preparation is called Sage. Software which we can use in a manufacturing organization, in a finance, in a sales, in a CRM. CRM is a customer relationship management perspective, purchasing and inventory stock control. So all this we can manage through Sage. Sage is quite powerful software which can be integrated with the various organizations, and we can use this software to record the transactions. So, any question?
None so far, thank you.
Okay, so today lesson really we discuss about accounting. Accounting mean the business transaction, recording the business transaction in a systematically way. We discuss under the accounts, we can prepare the financial statement. 4 types of financial statement we prepare in accounts. One is called income statement, balance sheet, cash statement of cash flow, and the statement of change in equity. Those are the 4 statements we prepare, and the purpose of this accounting is keeping the record either in hospitality, and in hospitality we can keep the record of customer, supply, and various other stakeholder record, and that is a compulsory to keep the record for either hospitality industries or any other industries we work. Difference we discuss about sole trader partnership and limited company. Sole trader is a 1% business. Partnership is 2 and more up to 20, and the Partnership Act 1890 in the UK is one. If we don't have a written agreement, we're supposed to share equally our profit and losses. And when we discuss about the limited companies come under the Company Act 2006. In other countries can be different act, but the Company Act help us to govern the company. And under the company business, they normally pay the corporation tax. We have a limited liabilities, but we can raise more finances to the company, and the company can be 2 types: public limited and the private limited. Private limited don't issue the shares to the public. They keep the shares as a private, and the public limited company, they controlled by the shareholders, and they issue the shares to the public. Anybody can buy their shares. So that's advantages and disadvantages we discuss. and we discuss public and private sector. Private sector is owned by the people, not by the government. Public sector is owned by the government, and we discuss about police workforce, BBC, NHS, or various other organizations. These are the example of public sector. But nowadays, public and private partnership is a growing concept. So both organizations can work, both sectors together for the welfare and the enhancement, they improve the customer service or the welfare for the whole public. So then we discuss about the software. Software are very important in hospitality industry. They can play a key role. We discuss about different softwares, especially the Sage is quite useful, and how we can use software to improve the performance within the organization. We'll keep up to here. If you have any questions, so please drop me email. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So in the next lesson, we'll go through LO2, and LO2 will be uh, LO2 will discuss about be able to prepare the document involved in the financial transaction. So I'll go through double entry bookkeeping, and I'll go through some example of double entry bookkeeping. We'll go through the VAT. VAT is consist of value added tax. In other countries called GST, general sale tax. So why is important, and we'll go through and we'll prepare the cash receipt, cash payment, and bank reconciliation. So we'll go through it. I'll show you how we can prepare the bank reconciliation, and the cash book and the bank book balance need to be balanced. So that's our learning outcome 2, which we'll go through next lesson. The following lesson we'll discuss about these statement, and I'll show you these statement and how we can prepare these statements, and we'll try to prepare these statements as well ourselves. And sources of finance, that's your last learning outcome. How we can raise the money, where we can raise the money, why we raise, and how we can make the budget. So that's all today, and hope so I'll see you next week. Then we'll do any questions?
Yes, just one question, please. Will this presentation and the recording be available on the Moodle? I forgot how to say it.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I like to watch again so I can get more notes. So when I'm tackling, I know I can tackle everything once answering the articles.
For sure. This recording plus these PowerPoint slides will be available on Moodle. If you have any question, you can drop them. Some books will be available on Moodle as well, in case if you need to do background reading. I'm not going through because this your subject is more generic, and just we're not going through more numbers, but I'll show you how we can record the numbers.
I see. And just one last question. So once I start tackling these, sorry, just a second. Once I start tackling, just a second. Once I start tackling these articles, for example, approximately you told me around 2,000, 2,500 words. Can I submit? Can I, for example, forward you one after another when I finish it, so you can have a look at it through
Good, if Ariam's making me the work. I'll show you in a minute. Just to okay, guys, I'm stopping this recording now. If you have any question, my name Anjum, just drop me email. If you're just listening this recording, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.